So in this video, I'm going to show you how to make this Loomigurumi Pascal. He is my original design, and of course credits do go to Craft Muse for the basic Tsum Tsum body pattern. He is a super easy and fast design to make. So yeah. So the materials you're going to need for him are, you're going to need a type of hook. I'm going to use a rainbow loom hook. You can use a crochet hook if you want. You're going to need a C-clip or stitch marker. I'm using a stitch marker here. And you're going to need a piece of wire, and this is for the tail right here, so then it kind of curves. So if the length of your wire will depend on how long and how curved you want your tail to be. And you're also going to need something to stuff them with. I'm just going to use polyfiber. If you don't have polyfiber, you could use anything soft like cotton balls, napkins, tissues, things like that. And yeah, so that's pretty much all you need. You also need the following colors: green, brown, and white for him. I used the cocoa color and the lime green and opaque white. So for Pascal, we're going to start off by making his arms and legs. His arms and legs are all just a magic ring of 6 stitches, and they're all going to be in green. So I'm going to make one with you, and then you're going to pause the video and make the remaining 3 magic rings in green. So you're going to start off, for your magic ring, make your cap band by wrapping your band around twice. 1, 2. Then you're going to slide a band through and reclaim. Do kind of like a slip knot, but don't pull it super tight. And you're going to go back into your cap band here. Slide a band just through the cap band, reclaim, and then slide it through the bottom 2 loops there. And repeat that 4 more times. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so now you want to count to make sure you have 6 stitches, and you want to count these little V shapes right here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and number 6 will be in your on your hook here, and that's pretty much how you make the arms and legs. So I'm going to go ahead and place this on my holding hook here. So I have all my arms and legs done, as you can see. They're all done. So now what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and you're going to pause the video and make the remaining arms and legs you need to make. And then unpause when you're done so we can move on to the eyes. Now we're going to start making his eyes. So for his eyes, you're going to need your brown bands, your white bands, a C-clip, and your hook or a stitch marker, whichever one you're using. And this is what the eye is going to look like pretty much. I have one made, and I'm just going to make the other one with you. So we're going to start off by making a magic ring of 5 stitches. So start off by making a magic ring of 5 stitches using your brown cap band, slide band through, reclaim, and then go back into your cap band, slide your band through, reclaim, slide, repeat 3 more times. So 1, 2, 3. There we go. And now you want to count to make sure you have 5 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and number 5 will be on your hook here. And then now you're gonna grab your C-clip or stitch marker and place it on the band that's on your hook here. And you're gonna go, and for row 2, we're gonna do a single crochet, increase around to get to 7 stitches in our white. So you're gonna go into your very first stitch here, and you're gonna slide a band through the stitch and the loop that's on your hook for your slip stitch here. And that kind of counts as your single crochet sort of. And then go into the next stitch, do an increase. So single, back in, single, and then an increase, a single, increase, and then your last stitch is going to be a single, and then you can remove your C-clip. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back into the exact same stitch. And instead of doing a single crochet, I'm going to do a slip knot to close it off. Like that. And that's pretty much how you make the eye. So now I have both my eyes done, and you're also going to want to add some slip knots. So I'm going to add 3 more slip knots. I'm going to add one going across. So I'll put it in around here. I'm going to add one across from where I closed off. And then I'm also going to add a slip knot on the top here. And then I'm going to add another slip knot across going down. And then, so now I'll have something that looks like this. And I'm going to quickly repeat that on my other eye here. So I'm going to add a slip knot here across. And then one up here. And then one down here. Okay. So now both your eyes should both have some slip knots attached to them, so then it makes it much easier when we're adding it onto his face. And now you can go ahead, pause the video, and make your other eye if you need to. So go ahead and do that, and then come back when you're done. Now we can start on making his actual body. So his body is going to be in your green color, and you're also going to need your C-clip or stitch marker and your hook, of course. So we're going to start off by making a magic ring of 6 stitches this time. So make your magic ring. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have my magic ring of 6 stitches done. And I'm going to grab my C-clip here and I'm going to place it on the band that's on my hook there. And now we can move on to row 2. And row 2 is going to be an increase around to get to 12 stitches. So go into your very first stitch here. And you're going to want to do an increase. So slide your band through. Go back in and do another single crochet. And then that'll be your increase. And repeat that around on the remaining stitches until you get to your C-clip or stitch marker. Okay, so I'm on my last stitch here. So that's the end of round 2, and you want to quickly count to make sure you have your 12 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and number 12 is on your hook. And now for row 3 is going to be a single crochet. It's going to be single crochet increase around to get to 18 stitches. So we're going to do single, increase, increase, and repeat that all around until you get to your C-clip or stitch marker. So single, Okay, so that's the end of row 3. And oh, accidentally did something there. And now you want to count to make sure you have 18 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18 is on your hook. So now we're gonna move on to row 4, and we're gonna do a single crochet, increase around to get to 24 stitches. So we're gonna do single, single, increase, and single, single, increase, single, single, increase, single, single, increase, oh, single, single, increase, single, single, increase. So I'm on my last stitch here, and you should now have 24 stitches. So I'm going to quickly count to make sure. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, and 24 is on my hook. And now we're ready to move on to the next rows. Now for the next 5 rows, which is rows 5 to 9, it's going to be single crochet around in our 24 stitches. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 1 row with you, and then you're going to go ahead and pause the video and do the remaining 4 rounds, and then come back when you're done so we can continue. So I'll do row 5 with you, and then you'll go ahead, pause the video, and do rows 6 through 9. Oh, I'm skipping a stitch right there. Oh no. Okay, so I finished up my row 5. So now what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead, pause the video, do the remaining 4 rounds, and then unpause and come back when you're done. So I finished up my rows 5 through 9. This is what it looks like now. And now right here I put add eyes, but we're actually going to do row 10 first, and then we'll add the eyes. So then when we're adding the eyes, we kind of know where to put them since we'll already have the arms down. So row 10 again, just single crochet around, 24 stitches, and our arms are going to go in stitches 7 and 12. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So I'm going to grab my first arm here, place that on here. I'm going to go into this very first stitch here, and then I'll slide my band through. So that was 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and stitch 12 is right here. So I'll put my other arm in here. Arm in here. And then now I can just do single crochet until I get to my C clip. Okay, so I'm on my last stitch here, and instead of putting my C-clip back on the band that's on my hook, I'm going to go into the next stitch, and then I'm just going to grab a different colored band. I'm going to grab a white one here, and then I'm going to do a slip knot. So then while I'm adding in the eyes, the C-clip just doesn't fall out, and yeah, so that's why I did a slip knot there. So I should have moved these. Okay, so now we're gonna quickly add the eyes. Oops. So I'm gonna grab your eyes, and since we placed the arms, we kind of know where we should put our eyes, so then they're not like up here or over there like that if we hadn't put the done the row with the arms first. So if you look at your eyes, you have your magic ring, of course, and then you have this white around it. Right here you'll have all this white and the brown, and then right here there's kind of like no white. So this is what's gonna be in the inside. So instead of having your white like this, you're gonna want it your eye like this. You're gonna want it like this. Oh. So then the side that doesn't have a lot of white, it's in the inside. So now that I know where I'm going to add my eyes, which is going to be right here, I'm just going to remove this one real quick. I'm going to hold down my first die, and then I'm just going to pull down the slip knots we made. I'm going to pull those slip knots through stitches that are around it. So that was number 1. And I'm pulling them through stitches that are close enough to where the slip knot is, so it's not like super far. That. And then I'm pulling this through. There we go. And then before I tie this eye down, I'm just gonna add the other eye to make sure it looks good. So I'm going to repeat the same process over here. Okay, so I don't like where this eye is at, so I'm just gonna kind of fix it a bit. Yep. Okay, so now that I have my eyes placed in, I'm gonna flip him inside out. And then all these slip knots here, I'm gonna tie them. So these are one eye, and then these four over here, another eye. So I'm gonna tie them to the bands that they're close with, which are these two. Nope. That. And these two. And these two. Then I'll tie these two here. And then I'm gonna tie these two right here. Okay. And then now I pretty much have my eyes done, and now I can move on to the next row. So now that our eyes are done, we can continue with him. So you want to take off this slip knot if you did a slip knot here. There you go. And then I'm going to place the band back on my hook, and I'm going to grab my C-clip. There it is. And then now we can move on to the next rows. So for rows 11 through 14, it's just going to be single crochet around in our 24 stitches. So I'm going to do row 11 with you, and then you'll do the remaining 3 rows, I think. Yeah, the remaining 3 rows, and then we'll move on to row 15 after that. So I'll do row 11 with you right now. Okay, so one more stitch here. There we go. So that's the end of row 11, and I'm going to place a band down to mark that down. And then now that we're done with row 11, you're going to go ahead, pause the video, do the remaining 3 rows, and then unpause, and we can move on to row 15. So go ahead and do that. I finished up my rows 11 through 14, and now we can move on to row 15. And in row 15, we're actually going to be adding in our legs. I accidentally put arms, but that's supposed to say legs. We're supposed to add in our legs in stitches 4 and 10. So go ahead, get your legs. I move these bands out of the way real quick. So I got my legs right there. So our legs are going to go in stitches 4 and 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to grab my leg here and I'm going to place it on. That's 4. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, this is stitch 10. I'm going to add my other leg in this stitch here. Oh, there we go. 10. So now I put my legs in. Now I can just do single crochet all the way around. Okay, so that's the end of row 15, and now we're gonna be moving on to row 16, and starting for row 16 we're gonna start decreasing to close them up. So for some reason he looks a bit smaller than normal Tsum Tsums, but once we stuff him he'll get his size a bit longer. So row 16 is single crochet, decrease around to get to 18 stitches. So you're going to start off by doing a single, single, then a decrease. So you're going to grab the bottom loop and then grab the top loop of the next stitch. And then just slide your band through like you would be doing a normal single crochet, and then that's your decrease right there. So then we do another single, single, decrease, single, single, decrease, single, single, decrease, okay, so single, single, decrease, single, single, and then your last 2 stitches here should be used for a decrease. Quickly remove this. So that's the end of row 16, and now you want to count to make sure you have 18 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18 should be on your hook. Now we can move on to row 17, and row 17 is single crochet decrease around to get to 12 stitches. So we're going to do single, And then we're gonna do a decrease. And then we're gonna do another single. And then we're gonna do a decrease. And then we're doing a single, decrease, single, decrease, single, decrease, a single, and again. Your last 2 stitches are going to be used to make a decrease here, like that. And then before moving on to row 17, we're going to row 18, we're going to quickly stuff them up. Go ahead and grab your stuffing and we can quickly stuff them up. You want to do a little bit at a time. Oop, forgot to push my band a bit down on my hook there. Okay. So, where'd my C-clip go? Accidentally had fallen off my hook. There it is. Now we can move on to row 18, which is going to be a decrease around, and we should have 6 stitches at the end. And you should have also counted to make sure you had 12 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So back to row 18, which is decrease around, and we'll have 6 stitches. So you're just doing decreases pretty much. No singles, just decrease. Okay, and then on this last decrease here, instead of doing your decrease, you're going to do a slip knot. So, like that. And then move your stitch marker, which I should have done before doing the slip knot, but I didn't. There we go. Now I'm going to tie another band on. Go. Get straight-ish. There we go. And then I'm going to go through these 6 stitches right here. So this one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and number 6 right here. Then I'm just going to slide these 2 bands through each individual stitch. You should be able to go through all 6, but if you can't, as long as you go through 4, that should be fine. This is 4, 5, and then 6, and then you just want to kind of pull on it, and then it closes it off like that. Kind of pulls it all together. And then you just want to go ahead and hide the slip knot. I'm going from under the body. So pull this. And this through here. Just gonna push that in. There we go. And then I'm just gonna roll them up real quick. So there we go. So now you have something that looks a bit like that. So he's almost done, but not fully done. So I'm just gonna open up his arms and legs a bit. So like I said, he's almost done. So now we just have to add his tail and his little spike thing here. So we're gonna start off by making the little spiky thing. And you're gonna wanna start by picking a stitch somewhere on the top few stitches that are right here in the head. So if you, I kind of went maybe above 1, 2, 3, 4 on the 4th round. I started there and worked my way back. So if you start from your magic ring here, this will be 1, 2, 3, and about 4 would be around here. So I'm going to start around here, like how I did with the other one. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to slide a band through, like this. And then I'm actually going to flip this around real quick, like that. And you kind of have something that looks like this. And then I'm going to go into another stitch here, trying to stay straight as I go. And I'm going to slide a band through that. And then, oh, I'm going to grab another band and slide it through all the bands. So you got something that looks a bit like that. Now I'm just going to continue doing that. So I'll slide a band through here. And then I'll slide a band through everything. And then you just want to try and stay in a straight line. But I know sometimes that can be hard. Kind of stopping to make sure it's straightish. Okay. And then I'm just going to stop it around here to kind of where we, kind of on the row where we put in our legs. I'm going to stop about there. You can go a bit down if you want, but I'm just going to stop it around there. Actually, I'm going to go down one more. So now I'm going to stop here, and then you'll have something that looks a bit like this, depending if you want a little longer or shorter. And then wherever you stopped, using the 2 bands that are on your hook, just do a slip knot there. And then you're just going to want to hide this. What I'm going to do to hide it is I'm just going to kind of go through a few stitches in the body here, and I'm just going to pull this band through a bit. Not too much. Like that. And then, oh. Kind of going through a few right there. You don't have to do this. You can do this another way, but this is just the way I'm doing it. Like that. So that's pretty much his little spiky thing there. And now we can move on to making his tail. Oop. So for his tail, you're going to need your little wire piece or whatever you're using for it. And what we're going to be doing is, for his tail, I just did single crochet around. Well, not single crochet around, but I kind of laid where I wanted it to go, and then I did a single crochet around to the length I wanted it. And then I put the wire in, this little thing in, and then just twisted it to how I wanted it. So that's what I'm going to do for this one as well. So I'm going to go around where the magic ring went, not the magic ring, but where we kind of closed it off right here, this little area. So I'm just going to go around there. I'll start here. And I'm kind of laying down where I want it to go. There. I'm going in a circle. There we go. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I got 7 stitches. And then you don't have to have 7 stitches. You can have it a bit more, a bit less, depending how thick you want your tail to be. So I got 7. And I'm going to start off by going in this first stitch here. And I'm actually going to start off by putting my stitch marker. You don't have to put a stitch marker, but I'm just going to put it on. So then I can see how many rows I did. And then you just want to do single crochet all the way around. And until you get it as long as you want. So I'm going to quickly stop recording, and then I'll come back to tell you how many rows I did. And then you can see if you want to do maybe more or less rows. So yeah. I'm back, and I did about 7 rounds, and that's so then it curves a good amount, sort of. It'll look better once I have the little wire in it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do some decreases. I think if you do like 2 decreases, it'll look good, because it's kind of a small area we're working with. So I'll do 1 decrease, and then I'm just going to grab this one, and I'm just going to go ahead and grab this one here too. And then I'm going to tie it off. Since it's a small area, we don't have to do a lot of decreases. Tie that off. That. And then now we can go ahead and put the wire in once you've done the amount of rows you want to do, and close it off. Before I put it in, I'm going to kind of bend it a bit to how I want it to be. So I want it to just kind of curve a bit. I don't want it to be super curved. So this is you can always bend it once it's inside, but I want to bend it before I put it in because it's a bit easier. Because once it's inside, it's a bit hard. Well, not hard, but it's just easier for me when I do it before. This is how I'm going to put mine in, like that. And I'm going to put it in through here. And then since I kind of curved it before, I'm kind of moving the tail as I'm pushing it in. So, oop, I wasn't looking. So as I'm pushing it in, since I curved it before, I'm making, just kind of moving the tail along with it here. That. Oop. Like that. And then I'm going to quickly fix this right here. That wasn't supposed to go there. So I think if you bend it before you put it in, it's a bit easier, but it's a bit different for everybody. So there we go. Got his tail. And yeah. So that's pretty much the end of him. He's got his tail, making sure he's got everything. Yeah. Chameleon friends. So that's pretty much the end of how you make them. So yeah. Thanks so much for following along on how to make him. In the comments below, a comment down below if you made them, or by tagging me on Instagram. Either one. If you liked this tutorial, please give it a thumbs up, and also subscribe. That would be really nice. So, again, thanks so much for making. Have a good day or night, wherever you're from. And I'll see you in my next video.